Stagnation, crypto warriors, top of the morning to you. What an incredible morning. Welcome back to the show and welcome to our new humble abode or studio, if you want to call it that. Right?
Welcome, welcome.
We are in here, okay, like swimwear, as they say.
I
As-
like how you say that.
yeah, I mean, that's the original adage. Now, um, this mouse does not match anything on this table. I'm just going to put it here for now. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We have an interesting a topic today, and I think we should just jump right into it because it's going to be a little bit extensive.
We can't even
Okay.
finish it today, man. It's so long.
I mean, we cannot finish it, but actually, I'm going to need that back. Let me
Bring it back.
yeah,
Bring
I
it
need
back.
I need to buy an all black mouse, man. I just don't like seeing it in the screen. It looks weird. Anyway,
Red is not
Uh,
our brand, yo.
listen, man.
Red's not our brand.
look at that. BK Crypto is already in the house.
This man, champion.
Okay.
Champion.
He says the altcoins are on fire. Listen,
I
bro.
know.
It is on fire. It is on fire. I'm not gonna deny that. man.
Zeal
It
is killing it right now. 50% off.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
Are you guys back in the profits yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It will probably keep running up. And
I think it's a trick, man. It's a bull flag.
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm wanting to see what happens with the Fed's decision coming up soon.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, BK Crypto, right? Of course, says all this. The altcoins are on fire for sure. They are. You should print bitcoins on the hat. You know, look at that, man.
Oh, not a bad
He's
idea.
catching on. Bro.
Not a bad idea.
Bro, I told you, man. BK Crypto is squat all the way, bro. Love it.
We
Listen,
need him
sir,
to join the team.
as a matter of fact, just give it a second. You're gonna see the Bitcoin on my hat pretty soon. You know, that's my brand now. You know.
To the side too, man.
Yes,
What
sir.
side?
All right, so he says good morning, warriors, from Crypto Society, and of course we have El Demnav El in the house. Good
Yes.
morning, happy Monday, and happy 2023. Same to you, sir.
Champion.
All right. And let's get right into it here. We're going to share a little video with you because what we're going to be talking about is about mindset and where we are right now with the banking system as we know it, right?
Banks.
Let's hit screen share here.
Let's do
And let
it.
me see if I have the right. Yeah, I have the right video here. So check this out, guys. And then we will come right back and dive into the insanity that is unfolding right before our eyes.
Training fleas requires a glass jar with a lid. The fleas are placed inside the jar and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then,
Just
when the
in
jar is
case.
opened, the fleas will not jump out.
Don't take much, apparently.
In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives. And when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
That should be good enough, isn't it?
Yep, that's it.
So you guys get the idea, right? And what we're going to be talking about today. Do you wanna give us a preface to this? What is happening, dude? Because this is insane.
Whenever the fleas sense movements like that, that's when their huge jumping ability comes in handy.
Yeah.
So if they
Stand by.
Yeah.
Stand by. Yes, that was just rolling on the side. Carry on, sir. Hey, new setup, guys. We're trying to figure it out. We're a bit rough right now. Carry
Oh
on.
man, folks, we are just trying to tell you guys which and how we've all been put into this environment where we just think that everything is just the perfect norm.
Yeah.
We just think everything is fine.
Yeah.
We were born into it. I'm sure a lot of people on here probably were not born in the 70s. If you were born earlier than that, maybe you were much younger, and you've just accepted the current situation as the norm.
Yeah.
And we've been doing some reading and understanding what's going on. And we've done a lot of videos about banking. And we've been researching more about banking and trying to figure out what's going on. You know, there's this old thing about FDIC insured and why a lot of people trust the banks. And we dug a little bit deeper. And guess what we found? Exactly what we're presenting today. Seems like the banks are in big trouble.
The FDIC. So before we play this video here, the FDIC is having meetings, right? These meetings are obviously not made public. But the content of these meetings is what is absolutely concerning.
Very concerning.
To put it very briefly, it seems like everything has gone I mean, how would you say, shit has hit the fan? It's essentially where we are.
Do we blame the feds for that, or it's just the normal thing?
Exactly. And I think most people would, I think most people would find it difficult to still remove their money from the banks or leave the banking system or trust themselves to even store their own Bitcoin, which is what is insane about it, right? You should be able to trust yourself to take care of your own things, right? Where you're at a point where you trust people you don't even know more than yourself, there's clearly a problem. And that's kind of part of the point of that video as well, right? So check this video out here, screen share. So,
Screen share, baby.
Yeah, there we go.
Screen share. We're back.
Right. And we're just going to play a little bit of this and then we'll be right back again.
That we think. I think one of the things that we should be really careful about is the next crisis won't be 08. I don't know a lot. I just know that. I know that for sure. So, if I was thinking, if I was sitting in your chairs, I would think, what is the seismic or systemic crisis that's not 08? What happens if we get a major cyber event? What happens if we get a major
By the way, let us know in the
cloud
chat
event?
if you need it to be louder.
We could just go through
try to
these.
turn it up.
And how do we deal with those events? And 08, whether we like it or not, there was a sign, there was a windup, there was a pitch, there was a swing, there was a ball flying out. There were a lot of balls that went out of the stadium. We sat there and watched them.
Suddenly I watched them.
The next event, there may not be a sign, a windup, a pitch, and a ball. It just might happen. And so in many of these things, I think we've got to accelerate our thinking because we live in a highly accelerated world. We also live in binary outcome events. And the event most likely will affect multiple institutions simultaneously.
That's it right there.
Yeah. So what is he talking about in that video there?
People, usually when you have meetings like this, for those of us that work for the government, that means there's an alarm that has been raised somewhere, and they have to have a meeting so that we can start strategizing or planning the solution. So they know an event is coming. That's number one fact. And the question is, how do we respond to the event?
Yeah.
And if we look at what they're saying here, when the 08 happened, a lot of balls went flying out the park and they just sat out there and looked. And this one is coming. Maybe it's here already. We don't know.
I think it's already here.
Look,
when I watched this meeting, right, what I gathered from it is like whatever is happening or what is about to happen, or it's already happened, right? It's just more like, are we going to insure the people with their money? Because this is the FDIC, right? Are we going to insure people for their money? And who do we tell? Which is the crazy part, which we'll be getting back to.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But right now, there's something coming, folks. And your money is sitting in the bank. My money is sitting in the bank. I'm still freaking out. Like, do I just go buy a bunch of Bitcoin with all my money? Or what do I do? I was lucky I didn't put all my money in Voyager back in the day because I was like, interest rate is going up. Everything is blowing out, and then all that crap happened. But now the actual banks, where do you park your money at this point?
Yeah. There's kind of no way around it. Let's look at the second piece here because I thought this was quite concerning as well.
About transparency in terms of resolution planning. It's all out there on the website. What we want to think about and what we're starting to work on now is how to improve transparency about our execution plans for Title II resolution. We've been working on these for 10 years now, and we should probably be starting to say more things publicly. So what do we want to think about today is what should we be transparent about now that would help improve confidence in the event that we're called to use our Title II authorities. And we've been thinking about this across, many dimensions. First, we look at who we need to be transparent for. And we have a...
Shouldn't they be transparent for America, which is everyone?
I'm telling you, the government is for special people.
Okay, well, let's carry on.
A large number of lists on this slide that you can see. We've done a lot of work with policymakers and regulators around the world, it's been said, and a lot of engagement with certain parts of the firm. So the slides on the right, we've probably done more on, but what do we need to be thinking about for the stakeholders, on the general public, customers, counterparties, other people like that? We think about what message do these stakeholders need to hear. And it might not all be the same. And then we think about
What they need
when
to hear.
we need
I
to
think that's
be.
it. What we need to hear. I think the answers to that should be simple. Everybody should be hearing the truth. It seems like that's the easy way. You guys let me know. But maybe I'm tripping.
As you guys are watching this, what are you thinking right now? Because
Right.
this is not us. This is not us saying it. This is coming right out of the FDIC.
Right. Let us know in the chat. I'm even planning this week yet. Now, one of the things, obviously, when you look at stuff like quantitative easing, ultimately, and I think this is what this is ultimately about, right? When you look at quantitative easing, when they print money and they push it into the system, right? And the banks are now holding this money, and then they take the money and they create multiple claims on that money. So whether they're writing lines of credit on the money that they have, then we get to this point where there's now the quantitative tightening, right? And they're trying to pull back money out of the system. But if you've taken $1 and made it $2 or $3,
giving it to the bank, you know what the bank does with that $1, right?
Technically, quantitative tightening then is not going to pull back that money, which means that we're still screwed.
No, because quantitative easing has allowed the Federal Reserve to put $1 in the bank. What the bank does with the $1 is double print, and they loan that $1 to somebody else, loan the next 90 cents to somebody else. So the liabilities that the bank make money off of is way more than the $1. So when you do the quantitative tightening, you can't put $1 liability back. You got to pull back more.
You have to pull back more, which was money that was next. In other words, counterfeiting has happened at that point.
But they have the right to print.
Yeah, it's still counterfeiting.
Just print money out of tin here.
Exactly. So this is absolutely insane. And so now in a situation like this, what I would ask you guys is, what would be your strategy? Will the FDIC actually be able to cover everyone in the event of total failure? Right,
shit blowing up
with them taking over banks? And why is it that there is a separation in the people, in how people are notified about these things, right? So maybe they will let the wealthy people know ahead of time so to protect themselves, and then you and I find out at a point when it is too late.
I'm not sure if we're going to have the chance to do that in this video. I wanted to go a little bit into the details of Title 2 because it's actually in there. It tells you who gets the rights. And kind of what happened to SACO lately, where the SACO now has access to the whole ownership to everybody's crypto. That was in SACO. Something's happening in the bank. So it's like a banking system. What happened with FTX was actually an entire banking system.
You had a PDF about that. You could just maybe read it out or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's some pretty cool information for sure.
Yeah. Let me go through that right there real quick.
But I think while you're looking for that, Title 2, in a brief, is essentially the strategy or the plan which the FDIC executes when they're essentially taking over all the banks that have failed. Right. And they're talking about Title 2. So this is something that is clearly coming. And it's on their website, it's not like this is something that they're hiding. Like this is coming. It's on the FDIC's website itself.
I got it here. So Title 2 covers applicability and appointment, authority for immediate and decisive action, continuity, bridge financial companies and related authorities. That one's the funny one, the continuity part, where they can have private sell-off. They can literally sell a bank off in private to whoever they want to sell it to privately without the public knowing.
Absolutely.
Access to liquidity. They just tell the Federal Reserve to print more money. But if they can't, sorry, Ben, you're going bankrupt. And when the bank goes bankrupt, the funny part is that your money in the bank is no longer your money. When we put our money in the bank, apparently what I'm starting to understand now is that we've signed documentations to loan our money back, our money to the bank. So you're not storing your money in the bank like you think. You're actually loaning your money to the bank, and then the bank takes liabilities or take risk off of your money. If they lose out on those risks, you get to lose all your money. This is why you have the FDIC to say they will come back and insure you for $250,000. But that's the max. How many people? Well, I guess that's not a lot of people. That's why people are still trusting them. It's like, oh, $250,000, the bank is going to insure me. But there have been instances where the bank cannot even afford to insure everybody. So you don't get the entire $250,000, like they say.
They're definitely not insuring everyone. Let's look at some comments. I know we're getting close here, but I think I would just like to encourage everyone watching right now to just look a little bit more into this and let's discuss it. Let us know how you feel about it. So Amo Gross says they're speedballing ideas. Yeah, some great ideas. All right. Yeah, that's really cool. All right. We have the recycling guy says stakeholders equals government employees. Well, yes, for sure. Government employee. You remember public-private partnership? I mean, stakeholders is definitely. I agree. Is
I think there's a section there where they're gonna go a little bit into the stakeholders
they
too
go
as
to that.
well.
Okay.
Yeah, fintech and some of the people that they hire in partnership with. It's basically corporations and governments. You're the customers are not gonna know anything,
Right.
and it's most likely gonna happen on a Friday.
Oh, she did say that. I don't know if I have that one, but I'm going to
Yeah.
play one more clip before we close it out. Because this stuff is mind blowing, man. Graybeard is mind blown. So am I, sir. Absolutely. Yes. Right. So we know they can insure everyone, not by any stretch. That's for sure. Right. The average person will get screwed, BK Crypto says as well. So, yeah. Let the bank runs begin. Yeah. Hey, man, I think the bank runs have been happening for a while already.
Yeah.
There's definitely capital flight happening.
Yeah.
Or at least it was going into crypto, and then all of crypto crashed. But into Bitcoin, still ongoing. I mean, even BlackRock is now adding a Bitcoin
Yeah.
to their portfolio. So
Freaking mining companies too now.
exactly. So that says something for sure.
They see what is coming.
Exactly. Jake Fever says he likes the New York. Thank you, champion.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. You know what we could do?
Yeah,
we could
go.
actually have the comments pop up on the screen. So now,
Oh, back there.
but I cannot get the
zoom in, the
coloring
camera,
right, because
yeah.
as you can see, it's not even clear.
We're still working on it.
We'll work on it. So I'm going to play one more piece here before we call it a day, because we're at 9:18 right now.
You know what? Play the one about what they think about the public, what they think about you and I.
I think that is this one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, screen share.
Screen share, baby. I'm
Yeah,
still
so
getting used to this, guys.
You gotta stay on point with the game, my guy.
I'm so enjoying the public, man.
Yeah, you go. All right, let's go.
To disclose as much as possible to people who professionally need to know about it. And that would certainly include the ratings agencies and the people within the banks who are responsible for these judgments. And simply have publicly available a place where people can go if they need to know more. Because we're dealing with a society where people are getting their information in tweets. There's just no patience, I think, for going through the elaborate and careful planning that has gone on. It should be there. It should be accessible when people need to know. But I don't think you have much hope of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know. I completely agree with that. I almost think you'd scare the public if you put this out. Like, why are they telling me this? Should I be concerned about my bank? Like, my insurance company doesn't tell me what they're doing with my assets. They just assume they're going to pay my claim. Right? I think you've got to think of the unintended consequences of taking a public that has more full faith and confidence in the banking system than maybe people in this room do. That we want them to have full faith and confidence in the banking system. They know the FDIC insurance is there. They know it works. They put their money in, they're going to get their money out. So there's a select crowd of people that are in the institutional side. And if they want to understand this, they're going to find a way to understand this. There's a bunch of law firms represented in this room. There's a bunch of people that'll charge them by the hour a lot of money to explain this all to them. And it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And they all have huge staffs. But I would be careful about the unintended consequences of starting to blast too much of this out in the general public.
So
All right.
I'd like to take
So
a
this
slightly
is the
different
part
view.
where they're telling you that to trust them,
Yeah.
and then later on in the video, I wish we had the time to show it. And they tell us they even brought the Bank of England, which screwed up several years ago,
Absolutely.
to come and explain the situation of how they were not able to cover their customers. So they try to get you to trust them, but at the same time, they're telling you that according to the CCP, there's a limit to how much they can cover you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, just right there in the video, he said it himself that they don't trust the banks. The people of the public actually trust the banks more than they do. So we can always leave the link to this.
Yeah, you know what? Let me.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll just copy this and drop it in the chat.
Yeah,
So
let's
that
do
if
that.
you guys want to check it
Yeah,
out, you can totally do that.
I think folks should actually
Right.
watch the entire video so that you can inform
please.
yourself of what it's going on. It's very, very important that you guys do that.
Absolutely. Well, we are at the close here. Bitcoin is obviously tap dancing his way in a northward direction. We'd like to thank you guys for watching the show for sure. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Take it easy, stay safe, protect your money. Buy Bitcoin, not financial advice, obviously.
Hey,
Any final
Hey.
thoughts before we roll out, sir?
if you have not done it yet, go ahead and subscribe to the Gentleman of Crypto.
Yes.
2023, we're going to the top, to the moon.
To the moon and
And of
beyond.
course, man, we're here, man. Check us out on Stack as well. We'll be popping videos there all the time. You know, Stack on YouTube, StackFin on Twitter, StackFin on Facebook, man.
Facebook,
The metaverse.
hey, listen, we're only on Facebook out of respect for our parents, and nobody's really there. So it is what it is.
StackFin on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to have a chat with us, let's get on Spotify. Let's have a greater conversation. And like the video just said, TikTok, for those that have very short span attention, we're trying to pop on TikTok lately as well.
It is. Until next time, Brazen out.
00.